All right, everybody in journalism 1 and 2, welcome back from the Christmas break. It's going to be a great semester. We've got a few changes here on how the class is going to be run this semester. We've already spent the first semester learning about journalism, how to write, our ethics, and what is news. Now, this semester, it's all about writing and publishing. So you are going to have a quota of what you need to have written throughout this semester. And we can take a look at it here on this quota track sheet here. Everybody will get a copy. We'll go ahead and post this up in the room so we can track what you've got to do. All right, so let's take a look at how this quota works. If you take a look at the very top, that very way up there, the big red bar says writing and reporting is 70% of the total grade. I'll explain the other 30% here in a minute. All right, let's break this down. First thing, our beats. This is for the nightly news website that we will have up and running here within the first week or so. And that is going to be, you will have 8 beat articles to do throughout the semester. That's basically one every 2 weeks. So you will have a deadline every other week to have a finished, polished, done article. All right. Moving over to the next column, it says news, feature, sports, op-ed, or review. That's 500 words minimum. That's 100 points. And you notice there's 2 bars grayed out, so you can do up to 2 of them for extra credit. But you will need to do at least one 500-word extra article on there. Then we have our Teen Talk. That is where we get to basically find existing news, summarize and analyze the news verbally on our radio. So you'll need to do 3 of them for us to get all of the Teen Talks done. That will go out on KVRF 89.5 Radio Free Palmer. Next column over is the Nightly News TV. This is your broadcast TV assignment where you'll get a taste of doing anchoring a news show. So we will use our full studio to do that. Additionally, you may do what we call electronic news gathering. That's a field interview or story. Either one will work for this grade. Everybody needs to do at least 2, and then there's one optional one you can do on the board. And that'll be fun. That's basically taking, again, existing news stories, writing them to sound good for being spoken on television. Mostly we'll be using the daily announcements and some of our own news stories already we've written for the nightly news. Then we have the Gazette. That's going to come out 2 more times. Right now this is being wildly popular in our community. I have had the city mayor of Palmer call and write an email and congratulate us. We have our district administration who's really excited about this. This is big stuff. High schools don't do this. They don't publish out in such a wide public format like this. So you guys are doing a dynamite job. We want this paper to grow. We want other schools to be involved in it, but everybody needs to submit 2 articles. That's 1 for each issue. It's 100 points, 500 words per article. All right. Then we have, I'm going to just scroll this over a little bit. You need to sell a Gazette ad. We haven't pushed that enough this last semester. This semester we will. It will be 100 points. It is a big part of your grade. So we'll get you the ad information out there to start pushing some Gazette ads. After that, you have an extra credit possibility, and that is writing for the Frontiersman Schools page. It is 100 points extra credit. With 100 points extra credit, you can maybe do 2 fewer beats or drop your big 500-word nightly news story. I really would prefer that you don't drop a Gazette, but hey, points is points, right? That's how it works. And then your final portfolio at the end of the year, if we add up all the points possible and all the stories you have written, you need to have at least 16 stories, a broadcast scripts, and your ad, and you're going to build that into a portfolio. The assignment's not that difficult. It's taking existing work and moving it all into one document and turning that in so that you have something that you can bring with you to an employer or a school later saying, hey, look what I did and here's what my skills are. Now, all of that together is 70% of your grade. And if we scroll down to the bottom of this here, take a look at the sheet over here in the corner where it says 1,150 total points are possible. You'll see 1,035 to 1,150 is going to get you an A. Now, that's not an A in the class. That's an A in the first 70% of your grade. How do you get the other 30%? We're going to move back over in our graph and take a look in that green column up there. There it is. It says badges. Badges are new. You need to build up to 1,000 points. And we'll have some milestones that you need to have earn badges by. Mostly badges you're going to earn just by doing the assignments and doing the work. But it also gives you a little bit of freedom in how you want to tailor what you learn. So for instance, you like writing about sports and want to write a lot of sports, you can go for that sports badge. If you want to diversify into a news story, a sports story, a personal profile, some radio, and just get all sorts of badges, that's great. Now, badges come in different flavors. There's 1-star, 2-star, and 3-star badges. And if you're like really into sports and you want to do more sports stories than entertainment stories or news stories, then continue working on sports and get a 1-star badge, then a 2-star badge, and a 3-star badge, and they add up. So a 1-star badge will be worth 100 points. A 2-star badge may be worth 250 points, when you combine the two together. And then by the time you get to the 3-star badge, it may be worth 450 or 500 points. I'm kind of getting that all worked out. So you can diversify with many badges, which will show to an employer, hey, I have these specific skills and experience in this particular part of journalism. And that shows that what you got out of this grade. So 2 people can walk out of this journalism class with an A, and one person might have more broadcast experience in it, and the other person might have more sports writing experience in it, or editing, being an editor, or something. And you can show that, and it means something. Now, this means something to an employer, whether you go into journalism or any other field. It shows that you specialize in something, and it tells you what your A is for. Not everybody's going to have the same experience. Okay, let's move over to the last column right there. That's 10%. That's deadlines. There are 18 required assignments. 18 required assignments. So you got 18 points. It doesn't matter how many points this is. You make the deadline, you get a point. You don't make the deadline, you don't get a point. I can make them 10 points and make it 180 points, or I can make it 1,800 points and every deadline's worth 100 points. It doesn't matter because no matter what happens, it's a 10% of the grade. So it's all about percentages. So your deadlines are important. This isn't a deadline-driven industry. And I want to make sure that your deadline grade is not come out of your writing grade, because the writing grade needs to show you what skills you have. So between the writing grade and the badges grade, that is going to be a lot more valuable feedback. Let's first talk about our editors before we close. I will have 2 editors per quarter. You can continue being an editor if you like it, or swap off with somebody else, but we do need 2 editors. Editors are going to be in charge of a lot and expect to put a little extra time in. Editors may need to make sure that their stories are coming in, so they'll be on you saying, hey, where's your story? They'll make sure that all the elements of your story are in there. They're going to be looking over your writing, making sure you have a photo and a quote and a good strong lead. Editors will also be doing the brainstorming and coming up with the story ideas and expecting you to contribute on that. So our editors will have a big job, and I encourage everybody to go for an editor position. You can also get an editor badge on there, and that would look really good on a resume. So let's look forward to a great spring semester, and let's get going on some journalism.